Okay, so every day we always have a to-do list, right? Like, you need to do this, you need to do that. For some of you, your to-do list might be like this long, right? I try to keep mine to like 3, 4, 5 things a day. 5 is kind of a lot. Like 3 is ideal, maybe a fourth. But I thought, like, let's make a to-don't list. Let's talk about all the things that law firm owners do that they should not be doing anymore, that we need to stop doing. That's kind of more fun, right? So let's talk about a to-don't list, right? Because, you know, I will say, and I will like be the first to raise my hand, that like when we're faced with kind of uncomfortable tasks or things that we don't want to do, like we will do everything in our power to avoid doing them, right? So we'll instead do like the easier things or the more meaningless tasks to kind of like to try to trick ourselves into thinking that we're being productive, but we're really just avoiding doing what needs to be done, right? And so we're just procrastinating, like we're not getting things done. You know, what's that book called? Like, Just Eat the Frog, or something about eating a frog, right? It's like how to just get things done. Like you just get them done. You just do it, right? And so we want to do the easier things, and just in doing so, we end up delaying the things that we really need to do. And I think a lot of the things that we should like should be on our to-don't list are related to like productivity, right? And just procrastination. And when we keep putting off the things that like the things we're supposed to be doing and we're procrastinating, like this just leads to more stress and more anxiety when we don't complete what we're supposed to be doing, because it's just like hanging over your head. And I have found so many times that if you just do the damn thing that you've been putting off forever, like it doesn't even take as long as you think it would take, right? Like maybe there's, you know, a declaration you need to prepare you've been putting off, or maybe you've got like some emails in your inbox that you've just been putting off responding to and just delaying and delaying because you just don't want to deal with it. Or if you have to maybe give some bad news, right? Nobody wants to do that. Or for whatever reason, you're just like kicking the can down the road. But so many times, like if you just do it, it never takes as long as you thought it would, at least usually in my experience. And it's like, oh, that really wasn't actually that bad. So in thinking about making a to-don't list, it was like, well, why would we make a to-don't list, right? Well, it's like, A, to be more productive, to get that crap off your list, right? And to be able to focus on the more critical tasks. Like you have bigger things to be doing. You have bigger tasks on your to-do list, so to wasting your time on things that are on your to-don't list. I am a big proponent of time blocking. I tell all my law firm owners, you need to be blocking out time on your calendar for different tasks, for really efficiency in your law firm, especially if you're a solo or a small law firm. You can't be doing 10 different things at once. You can't have 3 screens open on your computer, on your monitors, and have your, email chiming every 30 seconds if your email lights up like mine does, and text going off, and, you got someone coming into your office interrupting you, and then the phone is ringing. Like, you can't do all that at the same time. Like, nobody can multitask like that. Like, I'm sorry, but I don't care who you are. You're not doing a great job at any of it. You're not. And it's slowing you down. Like, you're not efficient if you're doing all those things at once. So we need to find more time to do the tasks that actually matter and stop wasting time on the crap that doesn't matter. So let's talk about the crap that doesn't matter. Let's talk about the things that are on your to-don't list. And when I say the crap that doesn't matter, what I mean is that there are things that matter, but you don't have to do them in the way that you're doing them. You don't have to spend as much time on them as you've been spending on them. So the biggest one is you don't need to check your email all day long. That is on your to-don't list. My little pop-up on my laptop that whenever Outlook, the Outlook pop-up about a new email, that's turned off. Like, that does not interrupt me when I'm working on my laptop. So number one on your to don't list should be checking email as the emails come in. You don't need to do so. If you have a deadline for something and you're waiting for that order to come in from the court, and and you got to do something by 3 o'clock that day because that's your deadline, like, okay, I get it then. But like, in our normal day-to-day, you don't need the constant barrage of emails all day long, especially if half of them are junk and spam. You don't need them interrupting you all day, right? So to don't number one is checking email all day, every day. We've got to set certain times that we're checking our emails, whether that's, if you first get into the office, let's say you're 9 to 5. Maybe you check your emails at, 9, then 11, 1, 3, and 5. I don't know. It doesn't have to be just once a day. You can have multiple checkpoints in your day, but it can't just be a constant all day long. So inefficient, so unproductive, and doesn't allow you to really focus on the task that you have at hand in front of you, okay? Along those same lines, unscheduled phone calls. You really shouldn't be answering your own phone if you're a solo. We've got to get you at least a virtual receptionist, okay? But if you got a small firm, if you got staff or someone handling your phones, like, just because a phone call comes in doesn't mean that you have to be available to take it. Again, unless it's like chambers that are calling you or something that is truly an emergency. Otherwise, all phone calls, if there's calls that you have to respond to, like a message can be taken and you dedicate, 3 to 4 o'clock every day to return those phone calls or whatever the time is for you. But the constant phone calls all day long, very unproductive, again, not efficient, and you don't have to be that available all the time. I talk to so many attorneys and so many law firm owners who feel like they have to always be available and that as a solo, that's expected of them or that they should hold themselves to that standard. Absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. That's not a realistic expectation, and to be honest, that's probably one that you've placed on yourself and not ones that clients have placed on you. But then you've trained your clients to expect that from you because you keep doing it. So stop doing that. Okay? In the same kind of vein of topics, multitasking. Again, you're not great at it. I'm not great at it. Block out your calendar as far as what you're going to do, when you're going to do it, and then do what you committed to doing during the time that you committed to doing it. You will get so much stuff done. Your day will be so productive in less time than what you're doing now if you stop the multitasking and stop the interruptions. So that's another one on your to don't list. Can we go back to email really quick? Because along the same line of not letting your email interrupt you all day long, can we stop treating our email inbox as a to-do list? And you just have these 50 emails or whatever that are always in your inbox and you treat them as a to-do list. Your inbox should not be a to-do list. Okay? So whatever time frame you have dedicated to checking your email, you also need to respond to those emails and get them out of your inbox. Either you respond to them, with the answer, or you respond that, you'll follow up with them by a certain date and time, then you put that on your calendar and get it out of your inbox, or you forward it to your assistant, paralegal, someone else who can handle it. It should not be your just running to-do list, because who wants to look at that every day? I've seen some lawyers who have hundreds of emails in their inbox, and not just new emails, but just emails that they're sitting on and waiting to respond to. Who knows when they're going to respond to them, but they're just sitting there on top of all the new ones that come in every day. Just opening that email inbox. It's not even my email inbox. If I see one of my law firm owners have an email inbox like that, when I see it, I'm just like, oh, God. Oh, my God. This is overwhelming to me, and it's not even my email inbox. Don't treat your email inbox as a to-do list. You need to, if you can respond within a minute or two and answer the question, do it. If you need to schedule response and reply to the client like, hey, I got your email, I'll respond to you, tomorrow afternoon, I'll, give you my updates or whatever the response needs to be. If you need some more time, respond to the email, acknowledge it so the client knows that you got it, and let them know when to expect to hear from you. Or if you can delegate it again to someone else in your office, then do so. Please, clear out the inbox. It is not your to-do list, and your to-do list should not be that long. Every day, again, it should be 3 or 4 items, maybe a 5th, but that's kind of a lot. I like 3 or 4 every day for my law firm owners. So these are just kind of a few, I would almost call them my pet peeves. I'm talking to my law firm owners about kind of like their day and their time management and their productivity and the lack thereof, working on their efficiencies and kind of processes and systems. Like sometimes I have to clean things up for my law firm owner because they're not doing things in a way that's really, productive or conducive to an efficient law firm. So there's plenty more things that you probably can add to this list that you're doing that you really know that you should not be doing. So, and a lot of that is probably things that you're doing when you're procrastinating, right? We're just wasting time, kicking the can down the road, just delaying the inevitable until it's an emergency, until you're up against that deadline, then you sit down and you buckle down and get it done. But you can't practice law like that every day. You can't always be waiting until the last minute to get things done. You're just adding to your stress. You're adding to your overwhelm. You are contributing to your own burnout. So let's take control of that. Let's, get a handle on things. Let's be more proactive instead of always being reactive and always having to put out fires because we waited too long and we procrastinated too long. So now it's an oh shit moment and, you have to drop everything to meet this deadline. Stop. Stop doing it that way. Stop making it harder for yourself. So it's going to require some discipline, I know, and nobody really wants to do that. But if you take the time to do it, I promise you, you're going to thank me later when things are more smooth and flow in the way they're supposed to. And it's not always chaos. So that's my take on a to-don't list. Some things that I would put on a to-don't list. And I would encourage you to make your own to-don't list and then stop doing those things. All right. Hope this helps. I'll see you in the next one.